Do you ever feel like people can see straight through you, like your skin is thin, almost transparent, and all your flaws, doubts, insecurities are glowing under the surface, obvious to everyone, but you can't cover them up? You don't think, they must notice the ways I'm strong. You think, they must see the flaws I try so hard to hide. Every stumble feels magnified, every doubt feels visible, and you brace yourself, waiting for someone to confirm what you already suspect, that you don't really belong here. That's the INFJ flavor of imposter syndrome. It's not just doubting yourself, it's doubting whether you even have the right to be yourself. This starts early. We learned how to adapt to the room, quietly studying people, shifting ourselves to fit, staying one step ahead. And it worked. People noticed how mature or thoughtful or helpful we were. But the praise never landed in the heart because it wasn't us being seen, it was the veneer. And once people start clapping for what you know isn't real, you learn to distrust applause altogether. You feel like a fraud caught wearing someone else's clothes. And then there's that ideal self in your head, the one who's capable, endlessly insightful and purposeful, the version of you who never stumbles over words, never second guesses, never loses patience. But that vision sits so high above the reality of being human. So you look at yourself and think, sure, I've grown, but look how far I still fall short. INFJs are highly self-aware, sometimes painfully so. We don't just notice what's happening, we notice what could happen, what might be missing, what's imperfect, what could fall apart. We pick up undercurrents that others miss, carry other people's emotions without realizing it, and replay conversations endlessly, editing and re-editing what we might have said. We crave meaningful connection, and small talk often feels exhausting and pointless. We carry an idealistic vision in our minds of who we think we should be, how we should show up, how flawlessly we should handle life. We compare ourselves to other people and to that impossible inner standard, and every time we fall short of it, imposter syndrome sinks its claws a little deeper. Self-improvement becomes a treadmill. No matter how far you walk, the destination never gets closer. And because the finish line keeps moving, every step forward feels like failure instead of progress. We notice subtleties and patterns others don't. We have a gut sense about what's coming and still feel out of step with the world. Every insight, every careful observation, every attempt at connection, none of it feels like enough. That's why imposter syndrome so often feels like being hunted by a spotlight. You're constantly running, afraid of being seen too closely, afraid that someone will notice the cracks you already obsess over, and it's exhausting. It's the quiet dread that one day someone will finally say what you tell yourself all the time. You are not who we thought you were. You're not smart enough, not kind enough, not strong enough, don't know enough. Who do you think you are? It's less about failing in some dramatic way and more about being found out in the smallest ways, the moment where the illusion shatters. Someone praises us at work, and instead of feeling proud, we think they've overestimated us. We turn down opportunities because surely someone else is more qualified. We reread emails 10 times, afraid we'll sound foolish. We finish projects and feel only relief, convinced we just barely got away with it. We lie awake at night, replaying small missteps that no one else even noticed, and we take them as proof that we're faking our way through. And even when you do accomplish something, the imposter voice twists it. If it came easily, it doesn't count. If it didn't leave you exhausted, it must not have been valuable. If someone else could have done it, then why does it matter that you did? So you brush off your own wins, minimize them before anyone else can. You downplay your talents as nothing special because if you acknowledge them, it might feel like arrogance. But that's another lie of imposter syndrome, the belief that worth only comes from doing and from suffering, that ease means it isn't real, when in truth, your natural strengths are exactly where your value shines. For many of us, this didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's rooted in our upbringings, our childhood, the way we were taught to see ourselves. If you grew up in an environment where love felt conditional or where you had to perform to be accepted or where your perception was constantly dismissed, then imposter syndrome isn't just insecurity, it's muscle memory. When your earliest lesson is your feelings are wrong, your perception is wrong, and you are wrong, you carry that doubt into adulthood. It whispers through every compliment, every opportunity, every achievement. Instead of believing the good, you brace yourself for the catch. That's why imposter syndrome doesn't feel like a glitch. It feels like the default setting. So what does this look like in real life? It means downplaying our talents. It means hesitating to share our work. It means apologizing for existing in spaces where we've already been invited because we secretly wonder if we were invited by mistake. It means that because you don't know everything there possibly is to know about a certain topic, you cancel yourself out entirely and stay silent. It's the job interview we don't apply for because we don't meet 100% of the criteria plus 50% more for good measure. It's the compliment we deflect because it doesn't match the story we've written about ourselves. It's the success we can't savor because we're already bracing for the moment someone realizes we don't deserve it. It's the fear of being judged. It's sharing your music, your art, your thoughts, your voice, and then having that familiar voice rise up inside and say, "Quit being so foolish and get back under your rock." Ah, yes, the rock. It's nice and quiet and safe under there, and we can live under there, live small, sometimes for a long time. But it's also cold and dark and nothing grows, and we slowly die inside. But the cruel irony, other people are often looking at us with admiration, seeing strength and wisdom and resilience. But we can't absorb it because imposter syndrome has already translated it into something else. Here's the thing though, the moment we realize and name it, it loses some of its grip. When we recognize imposter syndrome for what it is, a distortion, a trick of perception, we start to see that it's not the truth. It's not reality. Reality is usually much kinder. Reality is that our faults are not magnified in other people's eyes the way they are in our own. Reality is that our sensitivity and striving, while exhausting at times, are also the key ingredients to what can make us so insightful and compassionate. Reality is that belonging isn't about being flawless. It's about being real. And that's where the hope lies, in reminding ourselves over and over that what we feel isn't always what's true. That imposter syndrome is like a funhouse mirror. It warps and bends our reflection, but it doesn't change who we really are. It doesn't disappear overnight, but every time you catch yourself, this is imposter syndrome talking, not the truth, you loosen its grip. Every time you refrain, what I feel isn't the same as what's real, you tilt the mirror back towards accuracy. Because the truth is, if you were really a fraud, you would not care this much. Frauds don't stay up at night worrying whether they're enough. Frauds don't carry guilt for being praised. Frauds don't chase self-improvement endlessly, searching for growth and integrity. That's sincerity. That's the heart of someone who is real and probably too real for their own comfort. Imposter syndrome isn't proof of failure, not even close. It's proof of how deeply you care about living authentically. It's the shadow side of conscience, vision, and of longing to be whole. And when we call it out for what it is, we can stop treating it like the truth. We can learn to pause in the middle of that old script and say, this is not evidence, this is fear, and fear isn't the same as fact. And you don't have to cure imposter syndrome to keep moving. You just have to try to remember that its voice isn't the only one, that you can choose, even in small ways, to trust the reflection others hold up to you, and the truth that you know deep down. So if you've ever felt like you're faking your way through, you're not the only one. I totally get it. But the very fact that you feel it, that raw, thin-skinned awareness, isn't weakness. It's a kind of strength because it means you care enough to want to be true. And when that voice whispers, you don't deserve to be here, maybe the quietest, bravest response is simply this: yes, I do, and I already am.